everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Shay. I am a full-time reseller, which means I get to thrift for a living, and I also do sewing and DIY stuff. I am currently trying to sew my way to a more sustainable and vintage-inspired wardrobe. Since quarantine, I have made the choice that I think I'm going to start dressing vintage and working more vintage-inspired things into my closet. So this is the beginning of that. This is the third episode in my series. I will link down below and up above to the previous videos where I make myself a little skirt and a matching top. This time I wanted to challenge myself a little bit more. I wanted to make myself a pair of overalls. I have been seeing tons of really cute ones online. I'm very inspired by the cottagecore movement as well, and I really love that kind of feminine sweet style, so I went ahead and tried to make myself something like that. So I'm going to take you guys on the journey with me to making a cute pair of overalls. I hope you guys enjoy, and let's see how we did. Okay, so I've cut out my front and my back. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to pin them together, and then I'm going to pin them to each other after that, after I sew up the sides. So when you do pants, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna attach our pants from here to here to start with, and I'm gonna sew a stitch down there, and that's going to connect our front and or back. This is the front. So I'm going to connect it that way, and then I'm going to connect both pieces together after that, and I'll show you how I do. What I do next is show you how I'm going to connect the actual pant legs to each other, and then we will go from there. I re-looked at the pattern that I was using as a reference, the piece that I'm kind of cloning, and realized that there are in fact darts on the front and the back. So I went ahead and fixed that, and I re-strengthened my inside seam here. So next what I'm gonna do is I'm going to press my seams just to make sure that they are nice and flat. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press these open, and I'm gonna press these obviously to each side. I think that I'm gonna press them inwards this way. So, and then I'm gonna show you how I connect my two pieces, and then we should be able to put them on. And then I will worry about my little side plackets to get open and to get into it. And then I have this piece of fabric that I have cut here, which is going to be the bib portion. And I'm just gonna go ahead and fold over, and then I'm gonna put some darts at the bottom so that it doesn't gap, and then we will attach straps. So it's been pretty straightforward so far, but we'll see. So I'm gonna go ahead and iron this out, and I will be right back. Okay, so excuse the wrinkles. This cotton just happens to be super wrinkly, so I'm probably gonna end up having to either iron it again or just live with the fact that it's wrinkly. Anyway, so what I'm gonna be doing now is right sides together. This is my back here, and then this is my front. And so from here, what we're gonna be doing is attaching the inside seam. This is water, by the way. So I'm going to pin my inside crotch seam here, and I'm going to pin all the way down both legs, and then we're going to sew one continuous piece. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So I just started with the center here, and I'm just going to go out from each side. So I have attached the whole inside piece here. That leaves us with this outer edge. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna leave, probably gonna leave about 4 inches from like here to here so that I can work out how I'm going to be getting in and out of the pants. So I'm gonna just mark that on both sides. That way I have a good idea. Let's see. I eyeballed that. Let's see how close I was. Oh, I was so off. That's more like almost 10 inches. So let's just call it 10 inches. Let's move this down slightly and then we'll be at 10 inches. And I will do 10 inches for the other side. And I haven't tried this on yet, and I probably should, to make sure that the darts are in the right place before I go sewing all this together. So I might do that and then come back to you. Okay, so now I have attached the pants to each other. I got all kinds of strings here. Except for that 10-inch gap to get in and out on the sides. And I was looking at it while I was trying it on and decided I would like to have a waistband here before attaching this top piece, and this is what I've come up with so far for the top piece. This is just a basic square. This is going to be where the darts are, so it's going to come in here, and then I'm going to cap off this top piece like this, and I may or may not put a pocket. I'm not sure yet. So that's pretty cut and dry, but I cut out these two pieces to make as my waistband. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to right sides together, sew this to itself, fold it over so that it looks like this, and then we'll have a waistband to attach this to, and it will look more finished that way, in my opinion. And I am going to still make sure that these darts match up because I want that to look matched up. I might change my mind after I get this together, actually. I'm looking at it now and I don't know if I will actually like that. Let's envision it, shall we? And then with the pleats. Yeah, I think that'll look good. I like the separation because it kind of emphasizes the smallest point of my waist. So, and these are pretty high rise. I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually might use that jumpsuit again as a pants pattern for some vintage inspired trousers because the way that they fit, they come like right up to here and they're like fantastic for like a higher waisted trouser. So we'll see. I might do that in the near future. I did buy some other fabric, so I'm looking at a couple of things that I can do. So if you have made it this far and you're into this sort of thing, don't forget to subscribe because I have a lot of ideas. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and speed you guys up. I'm going to attach the waistband on both sides and then I will sew it along and show you what it looks like. Okay, so here is a little update. I have been working on this bib portion. I originally had a different one and I didn't like how it was turning out, so I decided to go with this instead. This is just a little bit smaller. It's just a basic like rectangle, so nothing fancy. It's not like fitted or anything. I decided against that. This is going to be my straps. I just cut 2 4-inch wide strips and I'm going to be folding them over, and so there'll be 2-inch straps. And then I have the actual overalls, which I did attach the waistband to. However, when I tried them on again, I realized that they were a little bit small on the corners here. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up inserting a modesty panel, which I was going to do anyway so that I had something to use as a button placket. So what it's going to do is it's going to fold over on one side like that, but then I added this extra fabric on both sides. So what is going to happen is I'm going to have a, sorry about the noise in the background. There's like never any like police vehicles going by, and like suddenly, because I'm filming. So this is going to have, I'm going to put 2 buttonholes here so that it is adjustable, and then I'm going to end up using that little extra bit of fabric to give me that extra on the waist. So that's just going to give me that little bit of extra. I think what happened was because I went higher up on the waist, I needed a little bit more width because I went a little bit higher up on my rib cage, so it's a little bit wider there. So that, I think, is what happened there. But otherwise, this fit is actually really good. And like I said, I totally think I'm going to be making a pair of pants with the same pattern. Looks really cute. You guys will see, hopefully, when I try it on for the finished product. But I have some dark, like hunter green, that I think would be really great as pants. So I think I'm going to end up doing that. Okay, so, but for now, let's continue working on this because it is getting a little bit late. Sorry about my lighting, by the way. So I'm going to try to finish this up. I'm going to sew up the straps, and then I'm going to attach the straps to this and then finish that off so that I can then sew up the rest of everything, hopefully. And I think I'm going to be attaching buttons to the back side of my straps so that I have the option to crisscross them or wear them regular. And also it saves me having to play around with the finishings on the inside. So I think I'm going to do it that way, but I will come back to you in a moment. Okay, so we are almost done. I took a break last night and then I just didn't come back to it. So it's the next day, just putting that out there. I guess I am wearing the same shirt because I wanted it to match my current footage. So, okay, so right now I have placed the kind of modesty panel on the side here. I think I was thinking about it and I actually think I might turn this into a pocket. So I may end up picking this off and then redoing it into a pocket just because it's like a really great opportunity to have a hidden pocket that way. But I also finished the top piece except for the little pocket that I'm going to sew on. So it's going to look like that, which is going to be really cute. And then I just finished the ties. These are really long right now for me. I'm very short, so I'm going to be adjusting that once I try them on. So that'll be like the final thing that I do also because I'm going to be adding buttons. So I'm going to add 2 button options here so that it's adjustable, and then I'm going to add buttons to the back of the waistband. So here and here, so that I can crisscross if I want to or wear it regular. Hello again. Okay, so it is now day 3, and I have been trying to figure this out. Okay, so what I did when I traced the original, my original pattern off of that other jumpsuit is I forgot to allow for the darts on the front. I didn't realize that there were darts on the front and the back, so I put them in without taking into account that I would lose some fabric on the sides. So what happened was when I went to put it on, everything fits except I am about an inch short on both sides. So my original thought was to add pockets so that I would end up with that extra space on the sides, and it sort of worked in theory. However, when I put it on, it gapped weird, it bulged weird, and it just wasn't right. So I am back to the drawing board right now with this, trying to figure out what I'm going to do to allow myself a little bit more space on the sides without it looking like I'm adding pieces. You know what I mean? So I thought about just recutting it. I do have enough fabric to make a second one, and in hindsight I probably should have made a mock-up, but I am not sure if I want to bother doing that. I think that this one will work. I just need to figure out how I'm going to put it together so that it works. Now, I was thinking about adding some strips to the side and then adding buttons. So basically making a button placket and then adding buttons to that placket, because that's apparently what I love doing at like every project I've done so far. I'm gonna try that first and see how that comes out. And if that does not work the way that I want to, then I'm probably going to end up recutting it, in which case you might not even see this footage because I may just shoot the whole thing again. So we will see. I'm going to go ahead and try that, and we will see where we're at from there. Alright guys, so I have finished the overalls. I was wearing them in the beginning of the video as well because I did finally finish them. It took me probably like 6 days to get these finished. What happened was I followed the outline of a current pair of overalls that I had, and it was actually not like a bib style, they were like a pinafore style, so I had a full tank top on the top. And so I left the tank top part off and I just traced the pants portion because I wanted it to be high-waisted. And then I actually added this waistband here around the top. It was not in the original piecing. And so what I did originally was I didn't realize that there was a dart both in the back, which is the one I accounted for, and in the front, which I did not. Which I did not account for. So when I went to put everything together, it was looking really good, and I was really excited. I was really liking how it was coming out. And then I tried it on the final time and realized that I needed probably like 3 more inches of fabric around my hips, and it was not going to close. So I tried putting pockets on the front. I tried using some sort of a hidden snap detail. Nothing was working. Nothing was working. I redid it like 4 times. I even recut a bigger version of these, hoping that that would help. I cut those too big. I gave up on that. And I decided to just go back to this pair because I had already finished the inside of the seams and I was really liking how they came out. So I ended up doing buttons here. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to try to focus you down. So I ended up doing buttons here on the sides, and this is actually a flap that opens, and then I fastened it here with this button as well. So the buttons are actually what closes the whole pair of overalls together, which is actually normal, but so I ended up with buttons on the sides here. So if you look closely, my seaming is not very good. Definitely my flaps here are uneven, as well as I believe when I really looked at it, my front seams are uneven as far as my darts. And, you know, there were some hiccups. I also accidentally cut the straps too short and had to reattach them to themselves. Design detail, right? Yeah. So, anyway, overall, pun intended, this came out really good, and I would love to make another pair of these in maybe a heavier weight fabric. I did use just a regular cotton on this, and it's really nice and breathable. It's great for like spring and fall, and maybe like a tiny bit of summer if you're willing to be a little warm. But I think that this came out really good, and I actually have some other fabrics, some heavier green cotton, it's like a dark green, like a forest green. I would love to make something like this out of that fabric, and I think I would like to venture into trying to make a denim pair at some point. But for now, this is what we have, and they're going to be perfect for fall. I've styled them with this really cute white top. This could also look really good with an off-the-shoulder piece, or even just like a bandeau if the vintage vibe isn't as much of your thing. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys now what they look like on. If you like this sort of video, don't forget to like and subscribe because I have more coming your way. I have some really great things planned for my sewing adventures, as well as some vintage thrift hauls that I want to share with you guys of things that I have been adding to my closet recently. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!